It's Sunday, May 28, and we have a very informative program lined up just for you. Today we talk more about how the Citizen Security and Justice Program is assisting at-risk youth. We also turn our focus on a special type of disability, Spina Bifida, and how it has impacted but not derailed the life of one of Jamaica's youngest and brightest. You're watching Jamaica Magazine. I am Adrian Atkinson. Stay tuned.
The pocket 6,000.
6,000. Yeah. How much I want?
Yeah, man, 2 days I want.
Yeah, man. Same. Alright,
what one, cat?
You don't know, I sit downtown the other day there.
Oh.
I want to come in them man, we buy and sell marina. One of them I sell a 6-pack for $1,000 and the next one I sell one for $200.
So where buy?
Buy 5 of them for $1,000. Think them can't rob me.
So Uncle Fancy, is the same $1,000 you would spend to get the 6? Seriously?
Tell them again now my math brains.
Math count.
Math count.
Sponsored by the Ministry of Education.
Going the extra mile, valuing our youth and believing their worth are at the heart of the work being done by the CSJP. Patrice Nephew joins us on Issues and Answers.
Thanks for joining us for Issues and Answers. I'm Ian Boyne. We're looking again at the Citizen Security and Justice Program, an important social intervention program that is operating in 50 communities and 8 parishes across Jamaica. Already this program has directly impacted the lives of 20,000 young people. The program was started in 2001 and is largely funded through international partnerships. The Communications and Social Marketing Coordinator, Patrice Nephew, is back with us. And we thank you for your company. Patrice, good to have you
Great to
back.
be here.
First, let's find out how does one, there are people watching us who might know of somebody who is in need of this program, might know of a young person who needs direction, who needs intervention, might know of a young girl in the community who has come under bad influence and might be going in the direction of early pregnancy, and an intervention from your organization could help. How does that person go about contacting you, and how do people usually hear about your program to be involved?
Well, first of all, we actually have because we're in the 50 communities, we have our feet and hands and ears on the ground in terms of our community groups. However, we have a referral system now, so not only does the individual who needs the assistant can come directly to us, but entities, agencies, the police can refer a youngster to the CSJP, the Department of Corrections. A community group can, once you're within our community, one of our 50 communities, can refer someone to the CSJP. Also, we have our offices. We have an office at 6 Oxford Road. We're also at 28 Church Street, Montego Bay. We're in Maypen and Spanish Town. We have regional offices there. We're on Facebook, because everybody's on Facebook.
Yes.
We also, but you can search the web for us. We're available. Our main number is 906-9644, or they can get in touch with the producers afterwards.
But state agencies refer.
State agencies
people
actually can refer us. There is a referral form. Once they get in touch with us, they can fill out the form, because many times, truth be told, a youngster who is most in need of our program might not realize that they need the program, or might not even know about the program. So we're working along with our partners, guidance counselors at schools, the list goes on. you can refer someone to the CSJP. Also, once the person is referred, they then go through a screening process and a risk assessment. And depending on their level of risk, we then have a treatment plan for them. If it is that they're relatively low risk but not to be neglected, we will refer them out to some of our partnering agencies, because maybe they might not need the full services of the CSJP, but maybe we might have partners, for example, National Council on Drug Abuse, maybe it's the Ministry of Labour, Heart Trust NTA, there might be other entities that we can refer them to, and where their services, which would have services best suited for them.
So that everything doesn't have to be dealt with by your staff?
No, because technically you can imagine the level of demand for the program, and we would not be able to fill all the demand. And to be quite frank, we don't have all the answers. We have some pretty good ones. We do have a pretty good package that of our suite of services that we offer. However, we obviously have to depend on our partners as well. What we do, we try to make it as relevant, what we offer as relevant to the individual as possible, and not neglecting the fact that other entities, agencies, ministries might have what is best suited for this youngster. That's why the risk assessment process is very important. And our community case management team is integral in this process.
Yes. We're looking at the social intervention program of the Citizen Security and Justice program, CSJP, an important program of the state with international funding largely, that is making an impact in communities across Jamaica. We take a break, but we'll be right back.
I'm young, gifted, and violence-free.
I will stand up for peace.
No matter what you say,
you can't take that away.
I'm young,
gifted, and violence-free.
I choose to live.
I choose to be me.
Welcome back. Patrice Nephew is the Communications and Social Marketing Coordinator at the Citizen Security and Justice Program, which falls under the Ministry of National Security. Patrice, what would you say to those cynics who say that Jamaica still has a high crime problem, especially in certain communities where you have been working? So social intervention has been there, but it has not managed to solve the crime problem. Therefore, what is the benefit of this social intervention?
Well, firstly, I would ask them to think what would have happened had it not been for programs like the Citizen Security and Justice Program, because
things would have been worse.
Things would definitely have been worse, because when you're looking at addressing the highest risk, individuals with the highest risk of either offending or reoffending, we're looking at, we're showing would-be criminals another way. We're re-socializing youngsters. We don't want to guess how many lives would have been lost in the career span of a gunman, you know. But apart from that, I would say that this program is actually, as a program of the Ministry of National Security, and also part of it implemented by the Ministry of Justice, that this is a government approach, and it is one in many approaches, right? So there's also there's the crime containment, there's the crime prevention. There's also, for example, legal aid, which is with the Ministry of Justice, where youngsters who might not be able to advance in terms of their labor market attachment might not be able to get a job because there are cases that need to be solved. They're in need of representation. Maybe there are sometimes too that persons might have records, or might, because they're not aware of how to behave under the law or their rights under the law, they are disenfranchised. Now, this program, by bringing these services to youngsters within communities, is actually preparing them preparing Jamaica for a safer society, and also having taken away reducing the supply chain for crime and violence, we are actually making a positive impact in that light, because we're thinking of what is, but we would dread to think of what could have been, and we definitely have tangible, we have results, we know that we have many individuals who are testament to the fact that they were or could have been.
So you have actual cases. You're not speculating. You know of cases of people who have run afoul of the law.
We have
were
many
incarcerated,
cases, yes.
have changed.
And
people are going down that route.
And not only have changed and just going about life as usual, but are impacting others and are part of the solution now, right? So when you have someone who was a notorious criminal, who was a gang leader, you know, you not only control your actions, but the actions of so many others. And when you have this person who, first of all, is no longer in the gangster life, but apart from that, is also part of the solution, positively impacting other young men. So it's the same leadership qualities, but now they're utilizing those leadership qualities for something more positive. Now you cannot deny the positive effects that will come from that. And I do believe that, you know, funny enough, I believe that civil society or the regular Jamaican needs to see their role in this whole crime prevention process.
Speak more on that.
Because a company, a private sector company, should begin to realize that employing a youngster from the inner city is actually reducing the supply chain for crime and violence. Actually, it's it is actually securing their business. And we're not talking about any extortion thing, no, no. We're talking about the fact that we're preventing this sort of behavior, because when someone is gainfully employed, positively occupied, this person has no time to be going on the wrong side of the law, because at the end of the day, once they can fulfill their needs and the needs of their families, they'll be okay.
And there are some middle class persons, Patrice, who say, them boy, they don't really want no work, man. A lot of them irredeemable. You don't hold to that view.
No,
you are in those communities. Some of those fellas, they really want it. They want an alternative to the crime.
They do. They need an alternative to the crime. You know, some youngsters who have come through our program have actually even described our program as oxygen, or having had saved their lives. Because many times too, being involved in these gangs, it's not that they really want to be a part of a gang, but that is the family that they know. That is the social group that has drawn them in. Now, when you have a program at the CSJP which exposes them to life skills, parenting education, exposes them, brings them back to school, even gives them a stipend to ensure that they have lunch money and bus fare to get to school, provide them with the uniforms, right? After they have gained their skill, we then place them in an internship program to gain the requisite job skills, job experience. And then when a company sees them and they're like, wow, we have the Marriott, the recently built Marriott has at least 9 of our CSJP program beneficiaries. In terms of the construction of that hotel as well, there were 5 youngsters who did their internship with the construction firm. And since then, those 5 have gained permanent employment with the firm. So it is given.
And a number of persons over the years have gained permanent employment, right?
Many. We have over 1,000 youngsters now who have gained permanent employment directly because of the efforts of the CSJP. And there are many who would have gone through university, who have gotten other opportunities by the program, who independently sought jobs for themselves. So that 1,000 is not even counting those individuals. And the good thing is that the companies that take on our youngsters, they can attest to the fact that these youngsters are cream of the crop. A matter of fact, the head of JPS has high regards for our CSJP beneficiaries. That's why they did one round of the internship with 20 youngsters. The second time around, they took 45.
Whoa.
So that speaks to the ethics, the work ethics of our youngsters. That speaks, it speaks to the program that we've prepared. We've actually prepared these youngsters for the world of work. And it also it will quiet the persons who, or it will actually appease at least the persons who say nothing now go on, because you know that's a very popular term. What the CSJP is here to show that something is happening, a lot is happening. The Ministry of National Security, the Ministry of Justice, and all of the relevant ministries, the government of Jamaica is actually and has been doing, carrying out a myriad of interventions that is addressing the crime problem. And I think the opportunity is for every Jamaican to, as we would say, give a youth a chance.
Excellent, excellent summation. The very articulate communications and social marketing coordinator at the Citizen Security and Justice Program, Patrice Nephew, speaking to us about the interesting things taking place under this program and the kinds of positive changes which have been wrought by it. The government is intervening. The government is making an impact in important ways in taking a multifaceted approach to crime control. We thank you for your company. Next week I'll be back. Until then, Ian Boy wishing you a pleasant day.
No, son. A verb is an action word.
Parents need to become more involved in their children's education.
Parents are the first and in many cases the most important teachers.
Read with your children. Review their schoolwork. Visit their school.
Tapping and rapping and slapping, I said.
Nice. High five. Woo!
A good education will never decay.
Spina bifida is a type of birth defect called a neural tube defect. It occurs when the bones of the spine don't form properly around a part of the baby's spinal cord. This is the story of Alex and his special mother.
Meet Alex Fraser. He's a 10-year-old student of Dunrobin Primary School in Kingston. He's just like most other boys his age. He loves to play football, hang out with his friends, and play computer games. The only major difference, he cannot walk like most other boys his age. Alex was born with spina bifida, a condition where a baby's neural tube fails to develop normally, causing damage to the spinal cord and bones of the spine. Alex's mother, Tamara Brown, has 3 other children, all of whom have no birth defects. But from Alex's birth, Tamara was determined that he would be given the same opportunities.
I want Alex to have a good education. No matter if anything happened to me tomorrow, I want him to have a good education. Can't complain, the children, the teachers, love him a lot.
It's fun having Alex around, even though sometimes it's like he's not even there. He's so quiet, he's so obedient, and he gets along well with his peers.
Parenting a child with disabilities like Alex's takes extra special loving care.
I have to make sure, go to school, eat, because Alex is a very sick child. Alex has high blood pressure, he has a kidney problem, so I have to take antibiotic every day, I have to take mineral oil every day.
It means Tamara has to be at school with Alex for the entire school day on many occasions, as there are times when he doesn't have an assigned special needs assistant.
We're always here for Alex's mom and for Alex. She has been a strong parent though, doesn't complain a lot, but we have been there in support, maybe for lunch or any advice that she need. So she has been a great parent. Alex's mother, she never gives up. She really wants the best for her child, and she should be commended for actually fighting to get the best in life for Alex. And we're happy he's a part of us.
I would like to work with computer when I grow up.
Antonika Gunter-Gale, Director of the Early Stimulation Program in the Ministry of Labour and Social Security, works closely with parents of children like Alex, especially in the early stages.
Parents, guardians, caregivers of children with disabilities face a number of issues. Financial, is one of them. When you take, for instance, sometimes a child with special needs go beyond the years of using diapers, they have to take soft food. So that means, the blending, the buying of certain food items, So there are a number of challenges. Medication, you think about appointments. The child needs to go to the hearing, specialist. The child needs to go to the audiology. The child needs to go to various appointments. And it does take cash, to care on the part of the parent for persons who don't understand that this is a child with special needs and the child, act up in the public, screaming, shouting, hyperactive, a child with autism, very antisocial, not getting on like his peers. These things can really cause much stress to the parents of children with disabilities.
But you might ask, how can a regular parent afford all these expenses? And are there any existing support programs for parents of children with disabilities?
There are a number of support through the Ministry of Labour and Social Security, under which this program falls, the Early Stimulation Program. A mother, guardian, who really cannot find the wherewithal to care, you have support in terms of intervention. You have financial assistance in terms of a rehabilitation grant that is offered through the ministry for parents or guardians of children with special needs. You have the Jamaica Council for persons with disabilities that also offer support and financial assistance for, starting up your own business, advice, and, that sort of a thing. So there are a number of areas. We have the PAT program that assists with adaptive aids, such as hearing aids, walkers, wheelchairs, medication.
For parents who, like Tamara Brown, are unable to maintain regular jobs as a result of having to be with their disabled children at home or school, the Early Stimulation Program guides them to numerous entrepreneurship opportunities.
We have parents, for example, a simple thing as making soaps, different soaps, putting together, soaps that is tested and passed, approved through the Bureau of Standards, selling soaps. So we have mothers doing phone cards. We have parents doing their little craft at home, rearing chickens at home, doing eggs, So there are a number of areas while taking care of the child at home, the parent could do.
For more information, you may contact the Early Stimulation Program at 95 Hanover Street, Kingston. Call them at 922-5585. Children with special needs need extra special parents.
If you're watching the JIS, you're always in the know when it comes to government information. Keep watching, keep informed, and tell your friends. JIS, your #1 source for government info.
You're probably planning your next road trip but don't have a set destination. Maybe I can help sway your mind. Check this out.
Imagine a tour on which you'll eat till you're full, dining against the backdrop of the blue hues of the mountains, sipping authentic Bluemountain coffee. Sounds appealing? Then you must, if only once, venture on the Jamaica Bluemountain Culinary Trail. The Ministry of Tourism has embarked on a gastronomic mission to promote Jamaica as a culinary destination. This is the main aim of the Gastronomy Network, one of 5 networks established recently by the ministry. The first product of the Gastronomy Network was the implementation of the Jamaica Bluemountain Culinary Trail. This is a tour of eateries and attractions nestled within the UNESCO-designated World Heritage Site of Jamaica's Blue Mountains. Whether you take the Eastern or Western Trail, you'll have access to at least 15 participating venues.
Gastronomy, or food tourism, as people commonly refer to it across the world, represents 88% of the reason that people travel. Therefore, will be responsive to the palates of the world. What we have to do is to prepare it a little differently, present it a little more appealing, and to move it from basic street food to the highest level of gourmet.
Wet the palate with hors d'oeuvres, dip into Strawberry Hill Restaurant's coffee ice cream, or drink coffee at a more than a century-old farm.
From Colombia, we also say Colombia's coffee is really good and we're really proud about it. So it was really interesting to hear the Jamaican perspective of their own coffee. The coffee was delicious and it's really amazing to be able to have a cup of coffee, look into the mountains and just like enjoy. So the coffee was definitely the highlight for me today.
Jamaicans talk about how great our coffee is, but I don't think we have any idea why. And that's what I learned today. It was phenomenal.
Vegetarians, meat lovers, those into traditional cuisine, or Jamaican fusion meals, there's a bite for every appetite. The Jamaica Blue Mountain Culinary Trail provides a getaway for nature buffs and foodies, wrapped up in one journey. The tour stops at about 4 restaurants, each boasting a historic or cultural backdrop. After dining, there lies an opportunity to walk off the food with the Akampong Maroon drummers.
Our aim is to preserve the integrity and uniqueness of the region. The beauty, diversity, and sheer magnificence of the region is unparalleled.
The Ministry of Tourism has identified gastronomy tourism as a medium for diversifying Destination Jamaica. Through the Tourism Linkages Network, the Gastronomy Network is offering locals and visitors a tasty treat of the Jamaica Blue Mountains. To plan your own food trail inside the mountains, contact the Gastronomy Network. They're located at the Jamaica Tourism Center, 64 Knutsford Boulevard, New Kingston, or call them at 920-4926-30.
Does your child have a phone? Does your child call or text you to say when he or she has arrived safely after leaving your presence? If not, then start this new trend now. Encourage your child to call home. It will give you peace of mind knowing he or she is safe. It is also a good way to communicate when you're not within bird's eye view. Build a better, stronger communication with your child as we make Jamaica the place of choice to live, work, raise families, and to do business. With all the information you learned here today, don't just keep it to yourself, tell a friend. Then send us your feedback. Jamaica Magazine at jis.gov.jm or tweet at JIS News. You can also visit our website, jis.gov.jm, for more information. Join us tomorrow for another exciting show. On behalf of the entire production crew, thanks for watching Jamaica Magazine. I'm Adrian Atkinson. Do take care.
This has been a production of the Jamaica Information Service, the voice of Jamaica.